had to go help his friend Matt put in a French drain today. The first problem Brian has is he doesn't have a friend named Matt. The second problem is his wife is now insisting that Matt come over for dinner. Brian is offering, how much you offering? Brian is offering $100 cash to any man that's willing to be called Matt for about an hour. He also says you'll get free food and beer. If interested, please come up to customer service. Thank you. Oh, one last thing. Matt needs to be able to walk with a little bit of a limp. Brian says he'll cover all the details on the way to dinner.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello there. How you doing, my friend? Everybody, welcome to Thursday edition of Sunset Rants. Today's Thursday. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. We catch you up to news and up to speed with everything that you missed while you're at work. I have my very amazing friend over here, Mr. Nevassa. How you doing, buddy?
The days are short, the weeks are long, but TGIF is where we belong. How you doing, Tay-Tay?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just got a call like a few minutes ago. My great uncle passed away, but it's all right. He was like 89.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. No, he's been in rough shape for a while, so it's not like everyone's sad, obviously, but it's not like it's not like it was abrupt or it wasn't something that was coming. So it's it's all part of life. So
Okay, so you could see it coming, just not. It's not la 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 la. No, you saw the decline.
Yeah. No, he's been sick for years, so it's okay. He's a great guy. I remember when I was a child, I was like, Uncle Ian, old Scottish man. He was like 5'3", and I was like, Uncle Ian, how are you always so optimistic? Yeah, I can't do it. He's like, but he was saying. He's like, oh, I treat every day like Christmas. So like that always stuck out to me. The guy was a brilliant man for sure. But yeah, that's about it. The week's almost over. I'm gonna see my other uncle this weekend. His daughter's having a national fencing competition here in Orlando. So gonna go see what she can do. And that's about it. What about you, dude?
It's just been another long week. Like the intro says, the chickens have come home to roost. And I think that I think the time has finally come where Father Time has caught up with the boomers, like the Schumers, the McConnells, and they're starting to retire. Or if they aren't retiring, they're just dying in office, as it were. And another major domino has fallen. And in Britain, when Margaret Thatcher died, in Britain, they said, "Ding dong, the witch is dead." Here in America, we have Nancy Pelosi. She is finally retired. And to that, I say, ding dong, so long, bitch.
Watch out on the language. But yeah, no, I thought she was like already technically retired or something like that after she stopped being the speaker, but it's good to know she's just finally gone. I guess that's where we're going to start with this one. I know you're very adamant about this, but before we jump into it, guys, if you like what you do, thank you. You know, it's always kind of the cliche beginning of every segment that whether we do or any other content creators do, you know, share what we do. You know, it helps us out. You know, our followers have been growing and growing organically. We want to keep doing it. You know, if you want to see our different channels, like you know, I know Nevassa does different stuff. Was it AK does different stuff? Biddy, everybody, we all have different shows. You can see what we do on our website, riseofmiddleamerica.com. See our beautiful merch, beautiful faces, like behind the scenes. Go do that. But that being said, and you can find me at AP2Tay right there as well. But Vessa, I'll let you take the reins on this.
Before we do anything.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
USA Today, the article that I was going to reference reading to from what we had planned, it went ahead and changed the link. So I'm pulling up an article from The Guardian about Nancy Pelosi retiring. Okay, I guess when I got it, it was different. But a political giant to exit the main stage from USA Today. A political giant and California mainstay is exiting Congress. Oh, wow. Father Time has finally caught up to her. But anyways, Representative Nancy Pelosi, a leading figure in the Democratic Party for more than 3 decades, and the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House, announced her 2026 retirement today, ending months of speculation about her future. She announced her decision in a video showcasing cinematic images of San Francisco. The iconic California city she has represented for more than 38 years. Her leadership spanned the AIDS epidemic of the 80s and 90s, which hit her adopted hometown especially hard. The legalization of same-sex marriage, the Bay Area city's tech boom, and the region's recent housing and cost of living crises. Pelosi, 85, steered Democratic policy and strategy for years in the House, leading through multiple administrations, making her one of the most recognizable and consequential legislators in modern American politics. Her time in Congress will end next year, opening up her powerful seat to new Democratic figures in the state and ushering in a new era for party leadership. So it's not the fact that her seat itself is the power seat, but it's the fact that she was able to make her political career as prevalent and as legendary, for lack of better words, in the Democratic Party as humanly possible.
As much as we don't like
her. If you're going to go... Oh, do not be mistaken. If I'm going to guesstimate what's going to happen, there will probably be a socialist that takes up her seat. And then the balance of power has already shifted from Nancy Pelosi's seat to Hakeem Jeffries. Because insert Ick-ism. Now, with that being said, I don't know if California's redistricting because of Proposition 50 passing will change her district to the point where it may be encumbered, or if it's just going to stay the same. Don't know. Prop 50 in California was the redistricting proposition to battle Texas's redistricting. But with that being said, it's Pelosi as a woman. I find her infamous. Thank you, Rick. She is infamous. Her political story, her political career, like the article said, it covers a metric butt ton of crises, events, scandals, etc. But Father Time catches everyone. No one has yet beat Father Time. What'd you say?
No, yeah, she's been like, I remember even as a child, like knowing who she was and stuff. And we can go back on videos, and it's almost like every single one who still has a seat now. Like they were saying the complete opposite of what they're going against now. I mean, so it's at a certain point they weren't always bad. I mean, she definitely has, like, through her entire time, like she has made an impact. Her career is very legendary. I might not like her, I might not respect her, but you got to call it for what it is. But it's good to see her finally just get her little maniacal, like venomous fingers out of like just the house. Towards the end, she's always just been drunk, always been like delirious. She's just been like obsessed with Trump. There's video. Everyone's seen the video. As much as she denies it, the video of her admitting to setting up part of the mob mentality of January 6th. Going against Trump's wishes to get the National Guard and stuff like that. There's a nuance more into that conversation, but if she's finally gone, this is kind of a good thing for everybody, in my opinion. Whether it be like Republicans or
like I said,
the Democrats.
Excuse me. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a shift. It's going to be a changing of the guard, because you've already got McConnell. He's retiring. Dianne Feinstein, she died in office. Schumer's next on the chopping block because Father Time.
Mitch McConnell.
Now we're going to get more and more.
Is it Mitch McConnell? Like he's going to be out?
It's actually a highlight. He's retiring in 26. He's not seeking re-election. Okay. So, for all the Californians in there, if we have any Californians in chat, you're talking to a California native. I left California in 2013. Haven't looked back since.
Oh, wow.
And that was also when I joined the Navy, but I digress. I've seen California go from ignorant bliss to outright stupidity. It's the only way I can describe it.
No, I think that's
Pelosi played a major role in it.
She helped ruin it. She helped ruin a lot of things just because she's greedy, and that's why I don't respect her, and that's why I do not like her.
Well, I can sincerely say, with absolute certainty, that Nancy Pelosi is the mild salsa flavor representing all the Democrats. Because you get the mild, the medium, and the hot. The hot and spicy, that's what we call a squad. AOC. And that's your AOC or Rashida Tlaib, etc. Oh, yeah. Ilhan Incestuous Omar.
No.
But so on and so forth. Oh, don't get me started. But needless to say, it's all the Democrats that we can argue are at minimum ignorant and at worst case outright evil. And their evil as a party, as a coordinated movement, is now beginning to affect the holiday seasons. Like, it's already bad enough that we in the United States have a problem recognizing Thanksgiving after Halloween. Okay? Because after Halloween, it goes straight to Christmas.
Oh, yeah. You go into any mall, like literally the day after, it's straight to Christmas stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which is stupid. Bring back the pilgrim hats.
But pilgrims are racist.
Like I said earlier, the Democrats and their pure evil, leading to SNAP benefits being defunded, has now spread to holiday travels because of the FAA saying that they're going to cut at least 10% of all flights across 40 major airports in the United States.
Yeah,
you want to take that one, Tay?
Is this the next one that we're going to? Yeah, I actually just saw that they're stopping flights or limiting flights to Chile, which is where my half of my family resides from. So I thought that was super bummer. So FAA say it's cutting thousands of flights.
I did not know you were España.
Yeah, I'm Hispanic at the disco, brother. FAA FAA says it's cutting thousands of flights.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Flights starting this week due to shutdown. Here's a list of airports and flights are set to be reduced. I mean, we knew this was going to start happening. Maybe this will stop people from wasting money, like chicks using their husband's credit cards for pointless flights. The Federal Aviation Administration will reduce flight capacity by 10% of major airports across the country. Officials announced during the press conference on Wednesday. This is going to cut thousands of flights per day, which is thousands. It's insane. Restrictions will go in effect Friday morning, which tomorrow FAA Administration Brian Bedford and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said. ABC News obtained a list of airports, which include Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, Boston Logan, and all 3 New York City area airports, Chicago O'Hare, and many others. Holy shit! These are all the major.
Oh, they're the big boys.
These are the top ones, here in the East Coast at least. Many other sources said the cuts could start as early Thursday. We're about to get the list started. A source told ABC News that the flight reductions will start at 4% on Friday, work up to 10%. The flights impacted by these reductions are scheduled during the hours of 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. So if you want to travel somewhere nice, you're going to have to do a red eye. International flights are exempt from the cuts, the source said. Oh, well, then I must have read wrong earlier. Adding that the final list of airports and FAA ordered with details is still in the works and is expected to be issued Thursday. Our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible. Reduction in capacity at 40 of our locations. This is not based on light airline travel locations. Okay. So maybe we'll start, equalizing it out. This is about where the pressure is and how to really deviate the pressure. Bedford said during the press conference on Wednesday. The announcement comes after Duffy said earlier this week that the FAA will be forced to shut down the airspace in some areas if the shutdown continues into next week. United Airlines released a statement on the reduction saying long-haul international and hub-to-hub flights will not be impacted. Alrighty, so never mind on the Chile thing. The airline said customers looking for a refund on any flight can get one, even if flying basic economy or with non-refundable ticket. That's good if you're able to do that. The company will use its app as well as email and push notifications to update customers, according to the statement. The forthcoming reduction in capacity marks an unprecedented move by the FAA and Department of Transportation. Bedford said he has never seen this happen before in his 35-year career. Both Bedford and Duffy emphasized that the decision to cut down flights is a proactive measure based on the data the department has reviewed, and staffing pressure anticipated to grow during the shutdown. Duffy said the action is being taken to reduce the risk of profile into national airspace. Echoing Bedford added, "We are not going to wait for a safety problem to truly manifest itself." Okay, this is all making sense. When the early indicators are telling us we can take action today to prevent, things from deteriorating. So the system is extremely safe today and will be extremely safe tomorrow. There's just a huge list going down. We're working with federal government to understand the details and new reduction mandate, strive to mitigate impacts to passengers and shippers. Los Angeles International, Las Vegas, Miami International, LaGuardia, JFK, Ontario, MCO, Orlando
DFW.
International. The Orlando one, that's wild. These are all the major ones.
Mhm.
This is, and Orlando's one of the most traveled ones like in the planet. That's the number one destination vacation
Well,
spot.
believe it or not, the busiest airport in the world, like the airport that handles the most travelers per year,
Sure.
it's not Orlando.
Oh, I didn't say this. I said
It's
like
Atlanta.
one of them. Atlanta, I believe that.
Yes.
I know Orlando's just one of the most destined
Hartsfield
places.
Jackson. Fair enough. Especially because Orlando is not tragically far away from like Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Fort Lauderdale, etc.
I don't know.
With that being said, for everyone, especially if you are planning on taking PTO, time off, vacation days for the holiday season, at least according to the article, and then you'll have to look into your airline for their specific policies, but you should be able to get a refund if your flight becomes canceled due to either lack of air traffic controllers or FAA reductions in availabilities, so on and so forth. So it's like for me, I live at a point where I can either take a flight from Dallas back to Fresno, or I can spend 2 days driving and do the same thing. But because DFW is especially hit, and because Fresno's not that big of a destination, that flight could be impacted in the first or second wave. So it's like I'm not going to go through the headache of paying $400 to fly and then just get that canceled a week later.
Yeah, but here's the thing you gotta understand too. So shit, I was just talking about traveling to New York, and these are the two flights that are going to be the two places that are on this list. You know, if I'm going for a funeral, say if I am going tomorrow, if I'm going for a funeral, that's cut dramatically. You know, and it's it's going to be taking effect for things just like that. Or if you have a business, for instance,
with Chile,
huh? No,
you said
New York.
flying to Chile.
No, New York.
Ah,
yeah.
Your best bet then might be that you might have to go to Philadelphia.
Really? Yeah, that's so far. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're talking about Fresno, 2-day drive. That's 4 days of travel just to go to a destination. That's a lot of like stagnant time of business not being accomplished. Now I can understand this because the government shut down and the FAA, if they're not able to, if they're restricting, flight controllers, I think it's like one of the number one, self-deletion jobs that there is just because of the stress. Going forward on that being said, they're going to be even more stressed if they have that much more on their plate.
Mm-hmm.
If they're reducing, this makes sense, for safety, for people's lives, if they're reducing it, they could use this time to start looking and start more proper maintenance, like on airplanes that are severely needed, at least in everybody's opinion. Cough, cough, Boeing.
Now, the one airport that actually did kind of catch me off guard that they're going to be affected especially hard is Anchorage. So Anchorage International Airport is going to be affected as well, but it's not because they have the personnel travel that's going to be affected. No, Anchorage, Alaska is one of our major cargo hubs for the United States. So, like yesterday when we were talking about the UPS plane fire in Louisville is another major cargo hub. Anchorage is just the same, but for the West Coast. Because you can't fly everything in and out of either Seattle or San Francisco. You just don't have the space because that's a people airport just as much as Louisville was.
Yeah.
But Anchorage is mostly cargo. So, but no, I'm actually surprised that Anchorage is being affected to the similar degree as like George Bush Houston International. But you had mentioned earlier that you got half your family or significant portion of your family out in Chile.
It's
and
everywhere.
It's going to be, that's fair, that international flights may not be impacted by this series of reductions yet. But I can guarantee you that one place in particular has been severely affected by Mother Nature for international travels. That's the Philippines.
Yeah, them in Vietnam, they're getting
Because it's typhoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's typhoon season out there, baby.
Yeah.
So I'll take this one.
Go for
So
it.
from NBC News, Typhoon Kalamagi leaves 114 dead and 127 missing in the Philippines, many in province recovering from earthquake. Oh, so this is a 1-2 punch. This is literally Fukushima. Oh boy. Most of the deaths were reported in the central province of Cebu, which was pummeled by Kalamagi on Tuesday, according to a local official. From Manila, the Philippine officials said Thursday that the death toll from widespread flooding and devastation caused by Typhoon Kalamagi in the country's central region has risen to at least 114, with 127 people reported missing, many of them in a hard-hit province still recovering from a deadly earthquake. Most of the deaths were reported in the central province of Cebu, which was pummeled by Kalamagi on Tuesday, setting off flash floods and causing a river and other waterways to overflow, said Bernardo Rafaelito Alejandro IV, Deputy Administrator of the Office of Civil Defense. Kalamagi moved away from western Palawan province into the South China Sea before noon Wednesday and was barreling towards Vietnam, according to forecasters. Among the dead were 6 people who were killed when a Philippine Air Force helicopter crashed in the southern province of Agusan del Sur on Tuesday. The crew was on its way to provide humanitarian help to provinces battered by Kalamagi, the military said. It did not give the cause of the crash. Provincial officials said Kalamagi set off flash floods and caused a river and other waterways to swell. The resulting flooding engulfed residential communities, forcing residents to climb on their roofs, where they desperately pleaded to be rescued as the floodwaters rose, officials said. At least 71 people died in Cebu, mostly due to drownings, while 65 others were reported missing and 69 injured. The 62 others were reported missing in the central province of Negros Occidental, which is near Cebu. Quote, "We did everything we can for the typhoon, but, there are really some unexpected things like flash floods," Cebu Governor Pamela Baricuatro told the Associated Press by telephone. Caloy Ramirez, a volunteer rescuer, said the massive flooding set off by the typhoon turned an upscale riverside residential community in Cebu City on Tuesday into an unrecognizable scene of tumbled SUVs and houses in disarray. Residents said floodwater engulfed the first floors of the houses in just a few minutes, sending them scrambling to upper floors or roofs. Excuse me. Quote, "We always expect the worst, and what I saw yesterday was the worst," Ramirez told the AP. He described how the faces of desperate residents would light up when they realized they were being rescued. The problem may have been made worse by years of quarrying that caused clogging of nearby rivers, which often substandard flood control projects in Cebu, Baricuatro said. A corruption scandal involving substandard or non-existent flood control projects across the Philippines has drawn public outrage and street protests in recent months. Cebu, a bustling province of more than 2.4 million people, declared a state of calamity to allow authorities to disperse emergency funds more rapidly. Cebu was still recovering from a magnitude 6.9 earthquake on September 30th that left 79 people dead and displaced thousands when houses collapsed or were severely damaged. Holy crap! So in a span of 35 days, sorry, call it 40 days. In a span of 40 days, this province gets a 6.9 magnitude earthquake, not nice, and then gets whacked with another typhoon.
God, just like, screw you, motherfucker.
How? I mean, that's kind of like Puerto Rico with hurricanes. Am I wrong?
I would say, I'd definitely say the Caribbean, like Jamaica and like all the islands. Puerto Rico, not so much. But this is, I mean, they do have, they're earthquakes, but they're not really earthquakes. They're just like rumbles. But this place, they're just getting, they just pulled the short end of the stick on this one. I get the short end of the stick on this one. That sucks. But then even on this, I was watching. So I saw like the Philippines got it, but now Vietnam is like getting pummeled even worse apparently.
Which is actually kind of surprising because typically, as hurricanes, typhoons, etc., go through land masses, there isn't as much water to pick up to cause the heat transfer to strengthen the hurricane or the typhoon. But if it's still barreling towards Vietnam, hoy, in the prayers, people. If you have anybody that lives out in the Philippines or in Vietnam, check in on them, see if they're ready or prepared to go ahead and take shelter.
It's just bad timing.
Excuse me.
You know, you can't really predict. Like technically you can, but you can't really predict. What's it called? Earthquakes. And, you know, as far as typhoons, like this time of the year, like they're known for getting wild storms. Like it's nothing new. It's just bad timing. You know, and the infrastructure out there sucks. So if you get a pretty gnarly earthquake that's knocking stuff down, like fucking up buildings, then you just have these huge, massive hurricanes like sliding through. Hurricane, typhoon, it's all the same. It's just where it's at geographically. Like that's gonna fuck you up. That's gonna fuck you up big time. And then the entirety of like the idea, like, you know, El Nino, they just went from El Nino to El Nino last year. So the, you know, the growth is different. What didn't have growth is different. What had growth is now dead. That changed the entirety of all the weather patterns. So it's been super volatile. Like shit, look at Jamaica. You know, as far as that goes.
Oh,
then, like,
Jamaica.
And cold waves going on. It just sucks, you know. And
So
I don't know. It's not really. You can't really. What are you gonna do? Just thoughts and prayers. I'm not a billionaire.
I mean,
if I was, if I sent it to charity, it would just go into someone's pocket.
oh, the skimming would be the skimming off the top would be atrocious. But when I left California, like I visited family from January of 23 till March because I had gotten out of the Navy at the time. And I left California in March. I was literally a day away from experiencing the first round of 3 El Niños passing through California. And basically what ended up happening was rain would come in, it would hit the mountains, it would freeze, create snow, and then once temperatures rose up, the snow melts, flows back into the Central Valley of California. Then you get the second El Nino coming in, rains, snowpack, sunshine, melt. And it did it 3 times. It created so much water for the Central Valley of California, it wiped out 2 towns just by pure flood. And it actually caused enough water to be created and settled in the Central Valley for scientists and basically agriculturalists and geographers to declare that a lake that was drained in the early 1900s had been restored. The lake, if you look through the history of it, it's called Lake Tulare.
Did that replenish it
No,
permanently?
it got recirced and drained out.
Okay.
No, it got recirced. But at that point, you easily lost 1,000 people in small towns in the valley. But like you said earlier, you can plan for the hurricanes and the typhoons, but you can't plan for earthquakes. But that's at a national level. You know what you can't predict at the individual level?
Anyways, I started blasting reading in this next episode, this next segment.
Oh, fuck. Yes, a first grader in Virginia. So anyways, I started blasting. This one's yours. You started it.
Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, I was just talking about this like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So I was wondering, and here it is. So Virginia teacher shot by first grader wins civil trial against school administrator, worth $10 million. Yeah, and jury award, because I don't know, were we doing the show together, or was I with Biddy? I forget who I was with. But anyway, let's talk about it because it was really interesting, and we'll go into this. So jury awarded $10 million to former first grade Virginia teacher Abby Zwerner, who was shot and seriously wounded by a 6-year-old student in 2023. In a civil case that accused the school's former assistant principal of ignoring multiple warnings the day of the shooting. Zwerner, 25, was shot in the hand and chest. So, like, I would just assume, like, damn, that sucks. Hand and chest by a single bullet while at a reading table in her classroom at Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, in January 2023. Zwerner spent nearly 2 weeks in the hospital, underwent 6 surgeries. The bullet to her chest narrowly missed her heart and remains lodged in there. Holy fuck. She has no longer full use of her left hand and has left teaching. Zwerner's lawsuit had sought $40 million in compensatory damages. That's how I say it. Compensation. And accused former assistant principal Ebony Parker of gross negligence. What a name. That's an old school name, negligence. In the lawsuit, Zwerner said, said she went to Parker's office in the morning of the shooting and said the boy was in a violent mood and threatened to beat up another student. The lawsuit said Parker had no response to Zwerner's concerns. Shortly after, 2 students told a reading specialist that the boy had a gun in his backpack. According to the lawsuit, Zwerner told the specialist that she had seen a boy take something out of his bag and put it in his sweatshirt. The specialist then searched the boy's backpack and did not find the weapon. The reading specialist told Parker about the incident. According to the lawsuit, Parker responded that his pockets were too small to hold a handgun and did nothing. Wow. Another student then told the teacher the boy had shown him a gun in his pocket during recess. Holy fuck. Miss Parker needs to be in jail. When the incident was conveyed to Parker, she said that the backpack had already been searched and took no further action, according to the lawsuit. When a guidance counselor asked Parker for permission to search the boy again, she allegedly forbade him from doing so, according to the lawsuit. Parker told the counselor that the boy's mother would pick him up shortly, the lawsuit claimed. The shooting, which police described as intentional, occurred about an hour after. Zwerner had about an hour after later. Zwerner was the only person injured and managed to evacuate the classroom after she was shot. School restrained the boy who said he had shot that bitch dead. This is a 6-year-old boy. What 6-year-old is putting a gun in his hoodie? What 6-year-old is saying, I shot that bitch dead? According to unsealed records. While testifying in court last week, Zwerner said she believed she had died after being struck by the bullet. Yeah. Zwerner's lawsuit also alleged that Parker knew the boy had a history of random violence at home and school, citing an incident the year before where he strangled and choked his kindergarten teacher. Just feed this kid rat poison and throw him in a fucking water drain. Concerns about his behavior were always dismissed. The lawsuit claimed the boy's parents did not agree to put him in special education classes with other students with behavioral issues. This is just getting weirder and weirder. This was nothing on the last one. This is wild. The judge previously dismissed, this is fucking insane, dismissed the district's former superintendent and school principal as defendants in the lawsuit. The superintendent was fired by the school board after shooting while Parker resigned. The boy was not criminally charged in the shooting. Newport News prosecutor Howard Gwynn said in March 2023 that the boy was too young to understand the legal system. Yeah, but you don't. Doesn't mean you don't know right from wrong, especially if you shoot that bitch dead. The boy's mother, Deja Taylor, no relation at all, was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison for felony child neglect and federal weapons charges. An attorney for the family previously said the firearm used in the shooting was locked away in a high closet shelf, but the boy said he took it from his mother's purse on the dresser. Taylor said the weapon had been secured with a trigger lock, but officials said they never found one. Parker faced a separate criminal trial in December on 8 counts of felony child neglect after a special grand jury found that she showed a reckless regard for a human life and other students in the school. Each count is punishable to up to 5 years in prison. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that mother's child. Fuck that little kid. This is a wild story. Like if he strangled another kid.
I want you. Number one, strangled another teacher. That's in and of itself. What the hell? But I want you to notice one thing at that entire article. Where's the dad?
Oh. Nowhere.
Was there?
His father's behavior. 100%. But it's like 75 or 80% of like kids now do not grow in a nuclear home. Just in general. See what they're saying.
And like Biddy said in the chat, the mom was also victim blaming. Ma'am, it's your fault that you had the gun in your purse and it was open area. Whether it had a trigger lock or not is immaterial.
Which one they did not find?
You made it accessible.
There you go.
That's now Ebony Parker. I believe, so long as there is evidence beyond a reasonable doubt for the federal felony child neglect charges, max 40 years, 8 counts. 5 years per count, 40 years behind bars, right there.
The student, the mother, or the
assistant principal.
Yeah, I'd say
she's being charged separately.
No, I don't think 40 years. That's like it is. You know, the negligence is insane, but nobody died and it wasn't malicious. But the fact of the matter is, it's just pure incompetency. It's just laziness. And it's laziness on the mother's behalf. It's laziness on her behalf. And the fact that people are just telling her she did that, yes, you know, you need more than a slap on the wrist. You know, rapists and murderers, they should be in jail for that long. You know, and I think that should be stricter on that. But, you know, if it's 5 years on that, it stacks up.
The rapists and the murderers.
She's been gone majority of her life. You know, she's an administrator. You know, chances are she's either in her 40s, 50s, or 60s. And with like an old school name like that, I'm probably pretty sure it's safe to say she's in her 50s, if not 60s. So but it's just.
Hardy, I got no idea.
What did he say? I can't read it from me.
I don't know how you get choked out by a 6-year-old. Unless that 6-year-old is corn-fed Gatorade. Freaking New York Jets, 6'4", 290-pound 6-year-old lineman. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
a
wild fucking story. I mean, good for. I definitely think that the teacher should have got paid more. You know, because like the medical bills, which I'm sure, you know, if she's a teacher, government, so she has she has her insurance is taking care of it completely. But it's still a lot of fucking it's not if she's in her 20s, $10 million isn't going to go too far to compensate it to where she could still live a normal life and have a normal job to be she's going to live better life financially, but it's you can't really do anything. I don't know if anyone's seen a gunshot went to the hand, but your hand is just completely mauled.
Oh yeah. The thing that sucks though is that $10 million, it's not coming from the school district. The district, the superintendent, and the principal were all dismissed as defendants. So this was a civil trial against Ebony Parker herself. So that $10 million ain't going to the teacher.
What do you mean?
It sucks.
Oh, because they don't have the money.
Ebony Parker herself. Exactly. It's not $10 million from the school district. It's $10 million from Ebony Parker herself. So the school district is not going to fund any of that.
No, the school district. Well, no, the school district is still going to fund it because even though they were dismissed as people for it, the school district is still responsible for hiring. It's the same idea as this kid, his mother is getting in trouble for neglect, and that's what it is. It's the same idea, the mother to the child, the school district to the teacher, they're still responsible. If a company, if a company has a truck, or a driver, and the driver rear ends or hits somebody, that driver might be dismissed, but the company's still going to be footing the bill.
Fair enough. I'd have to get more clarifying info on that perspective.
I could be wrong on this too.
But
I mean,
you want to know who?
I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's just the way I'm assuming it. Because there's no way they're going to be like, $10 million. She's an administrator. She doesn't have fucking $10 million. She makes $40,000 a year. Which is just you can't live on that amount of money. Of
course. Now, like we said earlier, we need clarifying info on this case as to how the school district gets involved. But I think everybody on Earth is going to be getting a lot of clarifying info of where a certain dinosaur came from and where it's gone to. You think of what I'm thinking?
Raptor?
T-Rex, where thou art thou?
Yeah, nah, Brian. I hate dinosaurs. I'm I like them, but not as much as other people. They're cool.
Oh, I'll take it. From Earth.com. Quote, T-Rex history is completely rewritten by the discovery of dinosaur named Nanotyrannus. Wait, hold on. You got Nanotyrannus. Whatever happened to Microtyrannus, Millityrannus, and just Tyrannus?
Hey, don't
and then
question
if there's those three that are missing, if those three don't exist, I'm terrified to find out about Megatyrannus, Gigatyrannus, and Terratyrannus.
I think there is a pterosaur.
So, in Montana, 2 dinosaurs died mid-battle. One was a Triceratops, the other a smaller predator, was long believed to be a teenage Tyrannosaurus Rex. For years, that assumption shaped textbooks, documentaries, and museum displays. Now, that long-held belief has crumbled. Recent research confirms that the smaller dinosaur wasn't a young Tyrannosaurus Rex at all. It was a fully grown Nanotyrannus lancensis. That single revelation has rewritten a major chapter of dinosaur evolution and forced scientists to question what they thought they knew about the most iconic predator of all time. This fossil doesn't just settle the debate, it flips decades of T-Rex research on its head. said Professor Lindsay Zano of North Carolina State University and head of paleontology at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Nanotyrannus redefines growth. Using growth rings, spinal fusion, and bone microstructure, the researchers pieced together a biological timeline. Each test pointed to one conclusion: the animal was not growing. It was mature, about 20 years old when it died. Its body structure told a consistent story. The arms were longer. The skull held nerve channels shaped differently from T-Rex. The tail contained fewer vertebrae. These features form early in life and remain fixed, meaning the specimen had already reached adulthood. For Nanotyrannus to be a juvenile T-Rex, it would need to defy everything we know about vertebrate growth, said James Napoli, an anatomist at Stony Brook University. It's just not unlikely. It's impossible. The realization hit hard. For decades, paleontologists had used Nanotyrannus bones to estimate how T-Rex developed and hunted. Those models, it turns out, were built on the wrong species entirely. Quote, the dueling dinosaurs fossil doesn't just preserve bones, it freezes a moment of raw prehistoric violence. The Triceratops and Nanotyrannus died locked together, one stabbing, the other biting. For scientists, that scene is priceless. It shows predator and prey at the exact moment of struggle, a story rarely captured in stone. The find also changes how scientists imagine the late Cretaceous landscape. T-Rex was no longer the only large predator dominating North America. A smaller, swifter hunter shared the stage. Nanotyrannus might have targeted different prey, moving quickly where T-Rex relied on power. The two predators likely competed at the top of the food chain, each adapting to survive. Their coexistence suggests a richer, more dynamic ecosystem. Excuse me. Than anyone expected. The age-old image of a lone king ruling the plains now looks incomplete. So yes, what we thought was the growth pattern of T-Rexes turns out it was a completely different species entirely. Meaning,
why isn't it the other way around?
Science is fallible.
Of course. I mean, that's the point of science.
What do you mean?
To which part?
Hey, Brian, I take offense to that. I was a theater kid in high school, thank you.
I think we could tell.
It was only for a year.
Yeah? Did you go to band camp after?
No, but I know what you did last summer.
Dude, this is wild though. This is actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you're able to see the progression, and then you realize, oh crap, we made a really, really bad or wrong assumption, and now you have to redo your work. And now you have to start questioning things over and over and over.
Well, you know, they did the same thing a long time ago. They thought they discovered like the Brontosaurus, but it was like a Brachiosaurus or some shit. And like the Brontosaurus is just a made up dinosaur. Like it wasn't even a dinosaur. It was like something else.
Well, if yesterday meant anything, that's fair. But I will say, if yesterday was any indication of made up things gone wrong, that may as well be called Caption This. Bumpity bump bump bumpity bump bump, waiting for the bump. Bumpity bump bump bumpity bump bump. Brian's not. Oh my God! Oh God, no! Burn it with fire! Burn it with fire! Oh my God, no! No! Oh my God!
This one's. I got nothing.
God, no! Oh, I've got everything. Burn it with fire. This is cursed. Brian, I don't care what I did to you. This was not deserved. Oh my God. No. No.
Am I looking at these articles trying to find stuff?
Oh. No, this is horrible. Brian, what did you do to my boy, Danny DeVito? So anyways, I started blasting. Because you ever seen the Disney version or the Disney movie Hercules?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where he's the little.
That is a bored version of a satyr. This is horrible. Like, Brian, what did I do to deserve this? Doug, no! No! No, Dad! No, Doug! No, Doug! I
don't know. I got nothing. I'm looking at my phone.
Oh, I've got plenty.
Got nothing.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. Brian, whatever you said did not make it into the stream. Probably using the wrong mic. Oh, Porky's Revenge, Pig Out Man. Oh, Shadow Pig. Hardy, is that supposed to be a Baldur's Gate 3 reference? Oh, God. Hey, girl, want to make bacon? Oh, my God, Hardy, no.
This is a literary reference. If anyone gets it, that's an instant win condition. Otherwise, do your worst.
Oh, absolutely.
A literary
Oh,
reference.
my God. Oh, my God. This is great. See, I could take that photo, the AI caption this image of the pig, put a wanted poster around him and say, left for cigarettes, still missing. Pigocalypse 2026. Oh, dear. Okay. I don't know if this is your prompt, Brian, but Hardy. There it is. Hardy got it.
Instant win condition met. That's Napoleon from Animal Farm.
What's Animal Farm?
Oh, dear. So this one time at the Animal Farm, Animal Farm is where it's a George Orwell book, basically describing Soviet Russia. And that's where you get the phrase, some are more equal than others.
Oh, well, the rest of us who aren't 200 years old wouldn't know about that.
Well, I'm sorry that high school literature escaped your brain there, Tay-Tay.
Yeah, never, I haven't even heard of him.
But no, Hardy. I'm gonna love putting that quote on the t-shirt. This one time at Animal Farm. Oh, it's a movie, it's a book. I'm sure there's an animated movie version of it. Like, I will watch Star Wars, Tay, if you watch Animal Farm. I've never seen Star Wars.
Star Wars is just better.
I'm sure it is. But you know what else is better, Tay? RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com. We've got all the merch. We need all the people we can get. All the shameless plugging. I don't care. But RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com, it is the holiday season coming up. So if you're looking to get good Christmas gifts, t-shirts, stickers, hats, merch, we've got it. And we can guarantee you it is still 7 weeks before Christmas. You got time. You still got about 3 or 4 paychecks to go before you get to Christmas. So I love our new shirt that we have on the store. Allegedly.
I haven't seen him yet.
Basically, it's like a giant thought bubble.
Take a look.
But no. Join us on the Discord. You can get at the QR code behind you. You can also see the background drop behind me. RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com. We got Sunset Rants Monday through Thursday. Immediately after this show at 10:30 Eastern, we have Roma Sports with the one, the only Roma AK, Gargi, and round 2 of Nevassa. Fridays, we've got Fatfo Fridays with Fluffy and the crew. Tay, where can they find you?
Oh, that's easy. Find me at AP2 Tay on literally everything. X, Instagram. That's all I use. So we'll be able to do that. I still
Follow
don't get
Tay
the
at AP2 Tay.
Yeah, brother.
Oh,
Sorry,
don't
I'm,
worry. We'll get you to read
distracted.
Fahrenheit 451. Oh, absolutely. But definitely do a dumpster dive through the merch store. We got plenty of merch going on. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Lord Nevassa, kick.com/Nevassa. I'll get back to streaming eventually. But join us on the Discord. It was a good show, Tay.
You had fun.
Veterans Day. Veterans Day is on the 11th.
That's Tuesday, right?
Veterans Day, I believe it's Wednesday. Might be Tuesday. It is Tuesday this year. Veterans Day, November 11th. Thank a vet. If you know a vet, thank him. Veterans Day for the living.
I don't know any vets.
You would not have the freedoms. I'm sure you'll find them on Tuesday.
I know absolutely zero. I don't even think I've met a veteran once in my life.
Well, you're looking at one right here.
I know, I was joking.
But no, in all seriousness, sorry.
It's all
But
right.
yes, I will readily admit, I already have a plan for all of my free meals on Tuesday. It's already a thing.
Enjoy it, brother.
But
you deserve it.
Hey, it's that one day of the year. And we'll take what we can get.
Hell yeah, brother.
But thank a vet.
Yeah.
Don't add to the population. Do not detract from the population. With that in mind, we'll see you guys on Monday for another episode of Sunset Rants. See you then.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.